Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Women Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hi, and how are all of my wonderful, amazing royalty? Let's get off that petty tea, hot, cold, however you like it. And also before I forget, everyone stay warm, bundled up, and nice. But then for some, I have to say, stay hydrated, enjoy the sun, get your vitamin D, because yeah, it's like on the other side of the world and everything. Yeah, yeah. It's summertime, so if you're going through winter like I am, or if you're enjoying your beautiful summer sun, yeah, you know which one's my favorite now. Yeah, but anyways, either way, stay beautiful, continue enjoying life, and if you're not able to right now, just look ahead and every day try to plan or do something that will help chisel away the pain. And trust me, I know I'm still working on mine. And yeah, and I'm still working on the novel, and the greeting cards, and the candles, and the workbooks, and the children's books. Oh, and with disability, and yeah. So trust me, baby steps. And I just ordered a couple new supplies for my disability yesterday. So yay me. Yay. But there's a long list of things, but yeah, so just know I'm with you and I understand. And that's one reason why I my creations, and I am so happy to have an imagination so I can have not only an escape but try to see if I can create it to be a game plan for my independence and things like that. So but okay, I gotta get to the main subject and stuff. And do not forget about my Patreon, because it's like especially with today's subject matter, I have so many pieces of evidence. I am going to have way over 1,000 screenshots of the racism, and then I also have some for the sexism and the politics and things like that. And majority of these screenshots are from dating apps to me, but then also I got some from the Facebook conversations where some of these white people are proud, like when they're proud to be racist, they are so proud to be racist. They can't wait to call a black woman a man, and or say that she looks so awful or wrong because she has a bald head. And to me, I'm just why is that just for men? It's like if you put a man down for having long hair, but then a lot of women say it's sexy and everything. But then when a woman has either short or no hair, like the sexism and the patriarchy and things. And I'm going to be talking in another episode about how I'm hearing that the Orange Man wants to fire one of his people because she is having an affair. But we've all known about this affair for a while. I think 1 or 2 years we've already known this, maybe even longer. Yeah, the same woman who shot her dog. Yeah, yeah, that one. Yeah, shot that poor little innocent puppy. Yeah, yeah. But this episode, it's kind of political, but like river racism, a mixture, because especially now with the Orange Man in the White House. Speaking of white, yeah, a lot of colonizers are saying how there is no shame with being white and they're proud to be white and all of these other things. And it's just like, yeah, this is why you need to check out my Patreon, because a lot of it's really like no one told them that they can't, be proud to be, but at the same time, they don't know the history and the roots of white and also the roots of being black, like the whole race thing. They don't know how that developed in slavery because especially after slavery when they were trying to say black people are three-fifths human, and then also when they were trying to do the census and the count and everything, they were saying how there were more newly freed slaves, like the black people were outnumbering Italians and the French and the German. So then all of a sudden they were like, you know what, we're just going to combine us. Oh, and at first Italians and I believe the Irish, there were like two or three different groups that are now white, but they weren't white before. But I know for a fact, like Italians, they were not. And then even the history with the Irish and slavery, we know about that, right? So it's just kind of funny how a lot of people now they're in these white hate groups, or they're saying how proud they are to be white, but then they don't even understand with part of their ancestry, like other parts of their white demographic hated other parts of their demographics. Like it was a hierarchy, even in like a white pyramid system back like centuries ago, whatever, or a century, whatever ago. But it's like they don't want to hear that. They don't want to know that. They don't want to teach that in the classroom. They don't want to teach that. And yeah, they don't want to teach the truth either with the history. And one reason why I keep talking about Prager University, because they're trying to, like, in my opinion, they are trying to say all these stupid lies and twists and turns, the history, especially the parts with slavery. And now we even have some of these conservative pastors going around saying that don't feel guilty about slavery. Slavery isn't like a sin, or slavery was a good thing in the Bible and all this other stuff. And that, oh, America didn't invent slavery, but there's different types of slavery, and America is the only type of where it was based off of color, and it was from birth until death. And another little piece of history: one reason why a lot of African Americans, we say birthday month, is because back, especially in the slave days, they didn't know their birthday; they only knew the month. And so when a lot of white people even try to say that's stupid, that's dumb, or I even remember Gary Owens, where he knows about black people, but he doesn't know about black people. And so sometimes there's been a few times where he says a joke, and I'm just like, yeah, that's because you don't know the culture. That's where you show your ignorance. That's where you know you don't know the history. So maybe you need to look up some of the history before you say some of these things. And I know some of the stuff is not well taught, but that's more reason why it needs to be taught. Because especially when you have white people saying this and that is dumb and why do you do this and stuff, and then when you have people, especially within the white community, I'm gonna go to Disney because remember, like even with the Little Mermaid and different things, like people are like, "Oh, I'm not gonna watch the Little Mermaid. That's woke." And oh, I have so many screenshots of the racist, awful, terrible, despicable, inhumane things people said about the Haley Bailey. Oh, that it's like that beautiful, talented star. Yes. And then even when it came to the Iron Man, yeah, it's like the new one, yeah, like the ignorant, awful, terrible things. And it's really crazy because people with the Little Mermaid were like, you should have gotten a white girl. It's like that. It's like this is woke. This is like they should have like stuck to the original. But it's like no, no, no. The original doesn't like from the book. Like if you mean the original, because even Disney changed stuff from the original of the book, because you really don't want the book version, because the original fairy tale of the Little Mermaid. Oh, that would be a horror story. Yeah, yeah, you need to know your history about, and especially, oh, Sleeping Beauty. You don't want to know about Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, most of the fairy tales are actually horror stories, but yeah, it's like then it's like there's a story about how a lot of them got changed around so that little kids could be able to absorb the books and things. But yeah, anyway, but then when it came to the Iron Girls, like in like with that story, the Iron Man 2, like all that stuff, the character is black. But then people, white people, is like, oh, I hope it fails. It should fail. This is stupid. This is woke. But it's like, that's how the original comic book was. That's how the original like, okay, so first you say we need to just stick to our own characters and new characters and things like that. But when we do it, then you say that is wrong. But then basically, like, oh, and even with Wicked, oh my gosh, like the hate they put on that woman, that talented, a wonderful, amazing woman. And I'm gonna do one, oh, I have so many episodes, and I always say this, but then I hardly get through any of my ideas. But the Republicans, if they really sat and listened to part two of Wicked, Wicked for Good, and if they looked at the politics today, and I mean, part of me is just like, oh, yeah, because like parts of it even shows like even with the apartheid and even the racism, but yeah, they did parts of it with the munchkins, part of it with the animals and things like that. But it's like a lot of the things like, and even with their soldier people, they reminded me of ICE. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, when when it comes to characters and black people playing characters, like people always want to tell us what we can be, or white people especially, because okay, I gotta drag the Asian community for a minute because you get a lot. The statements and the things, the hatred, the racism I see from the Asian community when they talk about the black people. But then at the same time, you love your K-pop and you love a lot of the things that rooted or came from the African American community. So it's like you love what we produce, but you hate us. It's like you love our creativity, but you hate our minds. You hate our voices, but you love our ideas. I mean, that's pretty. So, but I know why. Like, and it's crazy because it's like when white people say like they shouldn't be ashamed of love, and like, yeah, no, you should love yourselves, but don't hate us while you love yourselves. That's the part that bothers us. How much you hate us, how much you dehumanize us, how much you try to make sure to tell us that you are better than us. That's what, like, but then when we say Black Lives Matter, then you turned it around and said all lives matter, but we're saying Black Lives Matter because a lot of you guys don't think that. It's like now we have a group of people creating white towns, and in our history, we've had sundown towns. And then a lot of us have been either arrested or not hired from a job just because we are black. But then they don't want to see that part. They want to see how some companies are determined to do DEI to the point where now they have to compete with us. They're not used to competing. They're just used to being able to get what they get because of being white. They're not used to actually having to be challenged by a woman or especially a black woman or a person of color or a person with a disability or like myself, a black woman with a disability. They don't know how much harder I have to work, how much harder I have to prove myself, how many interviews I went to, and but first over the phone they told me I had the job, but then when I got there they made an excuse of why I can't work there, or they ignored me for the full semester at that university, and like even during finals or even a month before finals when they're supposed to start giving professors the next semester of classes, he ignores me, pays no attention to me. Yeah, and then oh, even at the community college, yeah. So it's like if you don't, and then even when staff members are coming up to me telling me that the dean is mocking how I walk around, how he's mocking my disability and laughing and even saying, how did I end up hiring a cripple? You made a little mistake and said that to the finance or one of the finance professors. So you need to make sure you watch how you speak about people. You need it's like so yeah, like a lot of you white people, and there's are some people that are white with disabilities. There are a lot of you, but it's just really frustrating how white people with disabilities say they don't believe in DEI, or how DEI doesn't do anything, or it's stupid, or they just don't want the job because they have a disability. And it's like, okay, well, you don't understand DEI then. You don't understand ableist and ableism and things like that then. Especially when you're black, a woman, and with a disability. I got 3 strikes on me already. I've got to fight so much harder. I've been told that, oh, we can't give you the job. You're going to get tired of walking back and forth from the parking lot to here. It's like, and yeah, it's like you're going to be a distraction. But then even back with the history and stuff, it's like they don't want to teach authentic true history in the classroom because they're too busy saying, "Oh, that's going to make my baby feel bad." They don't want empathy. They want to ban the books that will show more empathy, that will open up their minds. And there's so many, like, even booktubers who I've done my homework and I have a list of who not to send a sample, like a sample of my novel to. But they say there shouldn't be any politics in books when politics are already in so many books, even Dr. Seuss. And I've been learning a lot more about doctors, like, because I already knew some of the things, but I didn't know a lot of the things. I'm just like, ooh, wait. But it's like they don't want to teach, oh, they don't want to have like full exhibits of about slavery in the museums because they want to feel better when they leave. Okay, sometimes that the museums that show the reality, sometimes it's not a fairy tale. You know, it's like some parts of history is sad and depressing, but it's supposed to be a wake-up call because if you don't know your history, that's how you repeat it. If you don't know your history, that's how you repeat it. And that's one reason why now we are repeating parts of history because a lot of these people grew up ignorant or not able to gain the same information as maybe years ago when people were living through the desegregation, segregation, and things like that. Because, like, both my parents went through that in history. It's like my father fought in Vietnam, came back. Yeah, it's like, yeah, back to racism. Back to racism. It's like learning so many things from so many of my family members about what they had to fight through, go through. So then when I bust my tushy off, and after high school, I went to, you know, Oakland University and busted my tushy. I was like, I didn't even know I was born with a disability yet. Years later, even walking in so much pain to classes, but professors didn't believe me. No one believed me. It's like, but I finished bachelor's with a double minor. Then I went back for my first master's. Then I went back for my second master's, which is an MBA. Then I went and got some certifications. But then when I go to job interviews, and sometimes, well, when I get the jobs, when I get the opportunity to teach college classes, I'm told I only got the job because I'm black. I'm told I only got the job because I'm black. But all of that, and then working for about a dozen years as a promotional model, working for way over 50 different promotional modeling agencies, getting to travel, even getting so much experience and, like, just front row experience of, like, just what goes on with different products and demographics and things like that. Different ways to express myself to the different patrons and potential customers. But no, they tell me I only got the job because I'm black. hmm And then even trying to start my own business and everything, people tell me, "Oh, well, you're not going to get the job," or it's like, "Oh, you want to start a business, or you're not going to start a business? Why are you trying to start a business?" It's like, "Oh, well, black people don't do that." I'm like, "What?" And or if a black person succeeds, oh, well, they only got that grant money or they only got this or that because they're black. So it's like when now white people keep telling me, or when I keep hearing it on social media, there's nothing wrong with being white. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with being white. But it's like there's nothing wrong with being human. But a lot of the white race thinks there's something wrong with not being white. So, if you know the history of African American Month, but then white people get so mad, we need a White American Month. Baby boo boos. I already went through this in other episodes. And I'm even gonna do a special edition, one. It's like every white nationality has a month. March, Irish American month. I believe August or September is Italian American month. And then, but yeah, it's like Germany, like all of you guys, like French, yeah, all of you guys have a nationality month. You do already. So, a lot of you are poorly educated, or a lot of you enjoy swimming in the lake of ignorance and racism and bigotry because instead of wanting to learn more about yourselves, you're too busy hating on people not like yourselves. Because a lot of us, we know our history and we were forced to learn your history because yeah, they want to make sure we know about the white history. They want to make sure we know about the distorted heroism within the history. Yeah, but then you guys want to make sure to try to turn Martin Luther King Jr. into a villain. But what does that why? He was fighting for our rights. And then, oh yeah, it's like you call CK such a hero and he was like a Christian man, all this other mess or whatever, while he said that Martin Luther King Day is a mistake and how getting certain rights was wrong and things like that. And now the orange man in the White House, yeah, at national parks. Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Yeah, you can't go in the park for free on that day anymore. And I think, is the other day Juneteenth? Because, yeah, there's 2 days that used to be like, since it's a government holiday, you used to be able to go. But no, he replaced it with his birthday instead. But yeah, I was like, I want to say another comment, but then I don't want it to come true because that would be disgusting, awful, and terrible. Yeah. But then, yeah, you guys keep saying that it's like you shouldn't be ashamed, and you shouldn't be ashamed. You shouldn't be ashamed to be who you are. It's like being a human being. No. Okay. But okay, let's look at things though. There are hate groups with white people to celebrate your whiteness. And then you take a nationality test to show that you're all white, and then it's like when you find out that little piece of African in you, you try to pray it away or what. I hear there's like a ceremony. It's kind of like a fraternity or whatever. But yeah, there's so many hate groups, white hate groups. Yeah. So yeah, we have no problem with you being proud of who you are, but then when a lot of who you are hates us because we are not of the same complexion, that's the issue. That's the only issue. It's like, and especially with that one jeans commercial, we didn't have a problem. Like, and the thing is, we didn't even have a problem. Like, we were minding our business. But it's like all of a sudden we keep hearing that you guys are saying we don't like and we are jealous and we are like we don't do what you do, whatever. But then it's like you say that you are proud of being white, that's fine. But allow us to be loving of our African American roots or the people of whatever nationality. Because, like, if you don't even allow us or won't allow us to have our natural hair out and love our natural beauty, like, but then in contracts, yeah, being a promotional model, in many contracts, it said no braids, no cornrows, no afros, only European American styled hair. Uh huh. Yeah, I'm going there. It's like you tell us that you're proud to be, but then you want to force us to look like you guys. You have all of these beauty standards, but then, like, when African Americans, when we want to have fun with our hair, have wigs or weaves, and then you put us down, then, oh, you should have your, oh yeah, look at my Patreon, because, oh, I have tons of evidence, especially, oh, from white and black men. Yeah, black men, I'm dragging you, especially the black men who, with my dating standards or even with my degree, say, well, we want a white woman anyway. Yeah. Oh, if that guy ever sees, oh yeah, I show his screenshot in so many episodes. But and then, or the one black man who said, maybe they mistaken you for a white woman since I invest and I have my degrees and everything. Because trust me, white people, you should be happy and proud of who you are. But when it comes to even being educated, don't put us down for our education or for our goals and things. Don't say investing is only for white people. Do you know how many white people have told me that? And then black men, yeah, I'm going to keep talking, like, because, yeah, black men, stop allowing white people to tell you or give you limits. Stop letting them control you. Okay. Okay. It's like, because black people, stop telling other black people that they don't need to learn how to read. Okay? Because especially history wise, that's how they kept us enslaved. That's how they kept the power. That's one reason why they made sure that they did not allow us to go to colleges. We had to build our own. Education is power. And now they want to make sure that we are powerless. They are trying to take our books off the shelves and ban them because they don't want us to know and learn about the past, because they want to be able to repeat the past. They want to be able to do things that are not humane. A lot of them, like, so yeah, we don't have a problem with white people loving themselves like that, but you have to know the history and the toxicity that is within the white power. Okay, especially when it comes to black people. And yes, as a black woman, I know about this. Okay. And it's like, especially the judgment that you guys give us, and even like from like medically, even I was a part, like, I know firsthand of the medical abusc that goes on when white doctors keep telling me that I'm lying and making it up, and nothing's wrong with me and things like that. Yeah, if I was white, like, cause it's like I keep meeting even white people who have kind of like similar disabilities and stuff, but they were diagnosed as kids. Like, they all they had to say was, this doesn't feel right, A, B, and C, whatever. And doctor like, oh, let's get you tested. Let's do this. Let's do that. And I'm just like, for years, that, like, no one listened to me. And then it's like, remember that woman in the wheelchair with her sister? She's giving birth literally 4 minutes or 4 to 7 minutes after they finally put her in a bed in the room. She had the baby. We have black women bleeding out in parking lots and dying because of blood clots and other things, because of the pregnancy and things, or even miscarrying. And they're telling, like, oh, it's like doctors are so, like, scared to touch them, but black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die. So our lives are on the line. So yeah, be happy and proud of who you are, but the toxicity in it, that's what you don't understand. You don't understand the unfairness. You still think that black people have so much, like, you don't understand, like, you seeing us being treated equally scares you. That's what I think. You're not used to, now we're kind of get at an even playing field. You're not used to that. You're seeing some of us skyrocket to things in areas where we used to never be seen, and you're not used to that. You're seeing that we are more human than your ancestors gave us credit for, and you're not used to that. So now you feel like you need to upgrade yourself even more and push us down even more because you want it back to what it was back in history. And I'll talk about this again later, but I just had to digress. Okay, okay. This is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too.